Welcome to our third part of our summer webinar series called Teaching Smarter Scholars Summer Webinar Sessions. If you are new here, welcome. And if you're returning, thank you for joining us again. If you happen to have brought a friend with you, let us know in the chat because that is an additional entry into our gift card giveaway, which we will have throughout our webinar series, and we'll be announcing the winner at the very end. So as a reminder, we have these sessions every Wednesday throughout the summer from 12 to 12:30. It will be through the same link in Crowdcast. And you can also catch the replays if you can't join us live. They'll be through the same Crowdcast link. And we are also uploading these videos to YouTube, so you can watch them either way. But again, welcome. My name is Nicole, and I'm the Customer Success Manager here at Scholar. Before joining Scholar, I was a high school Spanish teacher and taught for over 10 years. So I know firsthand how much energy, time, and heart goes into supporting students, especially when you're working with students with diverse needs. And that's what we're going to be talking about today in our third session. So customizing 504 and IEP accommodations for students. So if you've ever felt overwhelmed trying to track every accommodation, adapt every lesson, or ensure every student gets what they need, this session is for you. I'll be sharing how you can add, apply, and track accommodations directly in your lessons within the Scholar platform, but also just give you tips in general for how you can use AI. So what we're going to be covering this session, we'll talk about personalizing accommodations for students with 504 plans and IEPs, how to implement and track those accommodations automatically, give students visibility and voice in their supports, and stay compliant without the paperwork overload. And we'll also show you how Scholar's built-in tools like Professor Bruce and BaxterBot are supporting real students in real classrooms every day. So let's get into it. So if you are new here, I'll just give you a quick 30-second overview of Scholar. So Scholar Education is an AI-powered platform designed specifically for K-12 classrooms to personalize learning. And this is done through the help of our two friendly Bernedoodles, Professor Bruce, the teacher assistant, and BaxterBot, the student tutor. And they are based on real-life dogs that you can see here on the screen. Scholar helps you write lesson plans, differentiate instruction, support students with IEPs, and save time without sacrificing quality. And the tools that you'll see today are built in partnership with teachers and tested with students, and it's designed to meet real classroom needs. So supporting students with IEPs and 504s is some of the most important work we do as educators. But let's be honest, it's also some of the hardest to keep up with. We all want to give students the support that they deserve, but there's a gap between what we want to do and what we have time to do. We know that you care deeply about what you're doing and what's best for students, but trying to personalize accommodations for every student can feel impossible at times, and tracking can be tedious and inefficient. Who has used a sticky note in the past to try tracking accommodations and stay compliant? I know I have. Maybe you have students who need audio support, they benefit from simplified text, they require extended time or sentence starters, or have executive functioning challenges that make task initiation tough. And we know that you've read through their plans and you want to help, but between grading, planning, teaching, it's not always realistic to make every support visible, timely, and trackable for students. But that's where AI and Scholar can make a meaningful difference. It's a way that you can be organized, fast, and always have a co-teacher on hand who helps implement what you've already designed with care. So let's talk about artificial intelligence, AI, and its role in education. So you can think of AI like your favorite co-teacher or even a para who never needs a coffee break. We believe that AI should support great teaching, not replace it. And that's what Scholar is all about. And this is what makes us so excited about using AI, especially with ESE students. So AI is here to help you and your students with tasks like writing IEP updates, drafting IEP goals, tracking accommodations, differentiating lessons, and supporting students with diverse needs, and more. And we hope that you're just as excited as us about the potential of AI with ESE students. So let me show you a quick story. Miss McBride is a US history teacher at a school where every student has an IEP. She wanted to create daily bell work that has meaningful, aligned, and scaffold questions, but it was challenging for her and her paras to accomplish this. She started using Scholar this past school year, and now she can generate bell questions that are aligned to her students or aligned to her lessons. And she can differentiate these questions where some students will receive open-ended questions and others receive multiple choice questions. And she can launch these directly to her students where they have all their accommodations already in place. So in minutes, she plans a full week of personalized bell work and collects meaningful data from each check-in. She told us that it's improved her workflow and how she starts every class, making it easier for her and her paras, and her students have participated more and feel more supported. So let me show you how in Scholar you can personalize accommodations for all of your students. We'll start with a sample individualized education program or IEP. This is a fictitious student that you see in my slide named William. I said he was a sixth grader who had an IEP for a specific learning disability. And we can see in this example plan that he has a number of accommodations that need to be implemented and tracked. And teachers are often tasked with reading each IEP, interpreting it on their own, and figuring out a way to track what they implemented for each individual student. They then need to report what they implemented, and this reporting is not always standardized or honestly convenient for teachers. So this is where Scholar can come in and leverage AI to automate this process of tracking and implementing accommodations for IEPs and 504 plans. So let me show you one of my favorite features inside Scholar, the Manage Accommodations tab, which you can see on my screen. This lists every accommodation a student could receive as part of their IEP or 504 plan, but it's more than just a checklist. You'll see a lightning bolt next to some of these accommodations. That symbol means it's automatically tracked. So if a student uses text to speech, for example, Scholar tracks that for you with no extra effort required. And from the student side, which I'll show you in a bit, they can open their accommodations toolbox anytime to see the supports that are available to them, helping build independence and self-advocacy. Also within the student profile, which I'll show you, you can select a native language to provide dual language translations in 179 different languages for ELLs, and you can assign an academic reading level to customize each student experience with Baxterbot. So this is how Scholar personalizes instruction and ensures real support every time a student logs in. So what does a personalized profile look like for students? If you take a look at William again, here I've added in those accommodations that were specified in his IEP, so you can see those that are listed there. He is not an ELL student, so I didn't select a language for him, but I did select an academic reading level based on his state test score and marked him at a level 2. So now William, his experience in Scholar will be personalized to him based on his unique needs. Plus, for his teachers, his personalizations are visible to them and will provide them with data on how he's using his accommodations, which are automatically tracked. So one of the most powerful shifts in Scholar is this. So students can see and use their accommodations. So let's say William logs into his account here in Scholar. Right away, he'll see his accommodations toolbox where he can choose the supports he needs while engaging with the lessons and activities his teacher assigned. This builds not just access, but ownership in his learning. William's experience is also personalized within Baxterbot. As he chats with Baxterbot, he responds to him at his academic reading level and adapts the support based on his profile. William can also see which accommodations are listed in his IEP, making those supports visible, actionable, and understandable. So this is how Scholar helps students move from passively receiving help to actively choosing the tools that work best for them. Now, let's take it a step further. As William engages with his lessons in Scholar using his accommodations like text to speech or taking a break, everything is tracked automatically. This is a data insights page on William, and you can see the list of accommodations that are in his profile. And you can see the accommodations that are tracked automatically, like the ones that had those lightning bolts icons we saw earlier. And it will show here on the data insights page which supports were implemented, when they were used, and how often for each student. So now his teacher has a clear view of which accommodations were actually being used, which students may need reminders on accommodations they have available to them, and where additional scaffolding or support might be needed. And you can track trends over time. So a teacher can look at William's page and see, is he consistently using his accommodations? Does he perform better when he uses them? Are there accommodations he's never using? And dig in deeper into why. These data insights help you write stronger progress updates, have clear conversations during IEP meetings, and adjust instruction to meet students where they are. So it's support that's not only personalized, but it's also measurable. And these reports are at your fingertips in the teacher portal in Data Insights. Now, let me show you how easy it is to support students and track accommodations to help save you time. So here is my first period in Scholar. I'm going to select William, and right away I can already see that he's used take a break during this activity, which was automatically tracked for me. And I'm going to add in that he also worked in a small group setting. That was one of his accommodations, and since I provided it to him in person, I just manually tracked it there so I can have those data insights. And in just a couple clicks, I have a complete time-stamped record of the support he received. So this makes it easy to stay compliant, reflect on what's working, and come to IEP meetings with real data without juggling sticky notes or checklists, which ultimately save teachers time. So even if you don't have access to Scholar yet, you can still start using AI to support your IEP writing and tracking. All you need is your favorite LLM like ChatGPT and a strong prompt. For example, that IEP that I showed you earlier, I asked ChatGPT to write it for me. You'd of course want to make sure that you remove any sensitive information like names or student ID numbers, but there are a variety of ways that ChatGPT or Claude or your favorite LLM can do the heavy lifting for you when it comes to supporting ESE students. So that's why we here at Scholar created a library of prompts called the BruceBot Prompt Library. It's a free toolkit that I'll share with you in a moment that's filled with plug and play prompts that you can use for drafting IEP goals, writing teacher input sections, generating scaffolded activities for students with specific needs, or summarizing progress for data meetings. So to make it easy for you, we already created a library of prompts that you can use as a teacher, and you can access this library through the QR code or that bit.ly. And these prompts are fully customizable to you. So I recommend making a copy of the library so that you can tweak them to match your district's format or your own tone, or start customizing the library for how you would use it. So even if you're just starting to explore AI tools, this is a simple, practical first step that can save you time and help you show up, for example, to IEP meetings feeling more prepared. So this library will help you in a variety of different ways, and we encourage you to start exploring it. So we'll start wrapping up today's session now, but we invite you to join us next week for our 4th session. And the session is all about one of the most powerful but time-consuming parts of teaching, which is giving students meaningful feedback. And it's called Give Students Better Feedback Faster with AI. So we'll learn how to use AI to generate personalized, standards-aligned feedback in seconds, draft constructive comments, and we'll show you how we use Scholar to generate this for you using Professor Bruce. So make sure that you join us next week. It will be through the same link on Crowdcast. But just a few final takeaways as we wrap up today's session. So reminder to access that BruceBot prompt library. Think of how you can use it to support your ESE students or your work as a teacher. And we encourage you to try out a prompt in your favorite LLM, or if you have access to Scholar, you could try it right with BruceBot. And come back next week and tell us how you use the prompts to help support your students. And then as a reminder, you can access a PD certificate for attending our summer series. So you can scan the QR code or enter in that bit.ly. You can customize this template then to add in your name and then how many sessions that you attend or watch the replay, so up to 5 hours total. And don't forget that you've already gained an entry into our gift card giveaway by attending. And every session that you attend is another entry. And if you bring a friend, that's an additional entry into our giveaway, which we'll announce during our last live session. So once again, thank you for joining us today and for all your work as a teacher. And we hope to see you back here next week on Wednesday. Bye for now.